skinny now, whatever girls.
I'm gonna be in trouble.
You watch more than me. Yewande!
No, they were like...
Oh my god!
For the sake of not disgracing the internet more than I already do with my presence and my face, I have a wrap on my hair because my hair is a mess and it's not in box braids yet. So please, let's just leave it as is. Normalize black girls on YouTube just not having their hair did in their videos. I think we should do that. I think that should be like a trend. Because it's not every day that I look really good. So, hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Hafeezat. I'm a current events and lifestyle blogger, vlogger, YouTuber, Instagrammer, social media, marketing manager, everything on this very here interweb and platform. And today is a very, very unprecedented video because I did not plan on filming this at all. However, you know, you don't know what's gonna happen in life and you really never plan to speak on things or talk about things or whatever the case may be, and I'm trying to be a bit more in the moment with some of my videos while also still having like planned videos like on deck just in case that there's nothing really happening in the world. So today we're going to talk about, you know, the racialization that comes with, you know, mispronouncing people's names, misnaming people, and the harm that it can actually create. And I'm going to draw from my own experiences, but I'm going to use the Yewande situation as a case study of sorts. Before we continue, if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit subscribe. We are close to 340 subscribers, hoping to hit 400, you know, hopefully by the end of next month. So if you've liked my videos before, please hit the subscribe button. Please like this video and comment, you know. All right, let's go. Changed my angle a bit on my camera, so that should be fine. So anyways, so if you haven't seen it, if you're not on Twitter, basically if you know about Love Island, and if you're aware of like Love Island season 5, then you would know about the whole Yewande Lucie controversy that's been happening the past week and a half or so on social media. So a couple weeks ago, Lucie responded to a comment on Instagram claiming that Yewande was the biggest bully ever and that Yewande has repeatedly bullied her. However, she said, "I am not able to remember what she did, but just know that she did it." Obviously, as soon as people see that, you know, they are coming to Yewande's comments saying, "How could you bully Lucie?" And people are going to Lucie saying, "Oh my God, why would you make these claims?" And her claims were never substantiated. However, it blew up because, you know, she is a personality from Love Island now, so everybody's kind of just like looking out for them. So Yewande responds, you know, saying that, you know, she's not a bully, and she's backed up by Amber, who is also in the villa, as well as Amy, and they talk about how it's not Yewande that's the issue, it's Lucie. And before we get into this, I just want to talk about Lucie as a person. So Lucie was probably the most disliked one in that season, not only by people within the villa, but also by fans. My sister tells me all the time, because I've only watched snippets of season 5, but she tells me all the time, yeah, like Lucie was terrible and whatnot. And there's this one clip of Lucie that really stood out to me.
Guys, always. Girls are drama. They like to just pump up it, make it worse, make it really bad, make it out worse than it is, and it's not. When you go to a guy for guy's advice, he's straight to the point and says it how it is.
So she talks about how, you know, she is a guy's girl, you know, she's a little surfer tomboy from wherever she comes from in the UK, and that she doesn't really get on with girls because there's so much drama and everything like that. But I just find it funny that most of the time when the girls who say that they only are friends with guys because girls are too much drama are the ones who bring the drama into their life. Case in point, her trying to steal Molly May's dude. I've read about that, repeatedly, even after he's like told her, like Tommy has told her, like, I don't want you, one, and two, now this whole Yewande situation, and also the situation between her and Luke M and Demi, and that whole love triangle cheating situation. Like, she's been like one of the more messier people that have come from Love Island. So you might want to be rid of all this drama, but you're the one bringing it. And now she's bringing more drama, talking about this new situation with Yewande, saying that, you know, Yewande was a bully. And now we can go into the more racial aspect of it, which is black women, especially dark-skinned black women, are always villainized, especially when it comes to reality TV shows. I've watched a lot of reality TV these past couple of days, and I always see the same tropes in each one. I've watched Survivor ad nauseum with my boyfriend because it's a great show, but the black people on that show are immediately villainized, whether they are bitchy, bossy, etc. And immediately the camp rallies around to get them voted out in the first tribal council or the second tribal council. There have been some instances in which they've deserved it, but for the most part, it's not deserving. And they're just kind of like speaking their mind, or just like, you know, being who they are. And having kind of like a racial component does add to it, because there's other people in that same camp who will act the exact same way but will not have a target on their back. Same thing with Big Brother or with Love Island. The black people are routinely villainized, and we see it. People have constantly critiqued these networks for doing that, especially black people, especially black women. Not only that, but in terms of Love Island, the black women were typically seen as, you know, either too uppity or like, you know, hard to please, or they were not seen as attractive compared to like their white counterparts or their light-skinned black women counterparts, because there have been light-skinned women and dark-skinned women, and I feel as if they just put the darker skinned girl in order for her to be a token, which I'm not surprised. It's happened with Yewande, and it's happened with my girl Leanne from season 6 of Love Island. Both of them beautiful, darker skinned black women who have been villainized, you know, in the eyes of not only like the other islanders, but then also in terms of like how the producers kind of like, you know, cast them, and kind of what's it called, how they shape the show to be, because there's definitely a lot of stuff that we didn't see behind the scenes, but there is stuff that they've decided to show us, and the angle that they constantly push on these women to kind of, you know, kind of be a bit stubborn and a bit like too much or whatever the case may be. I don't like that. That's not the representation that I'm asking for. Let me zoom in a little. Okay. There we go. So now that we have that context, let's talk about, again, like this bullying situation. So Lucie says that Yewande has bullied her, right? But Amber, Amy, Yewande, they all say, you know, that's not the case, love. You know, that's not how it's been. That's not how we do, you know. Excuse me to all the British people that follow me. I'm sorry, but you know, I got family in London, so like I'm allowed to okay, let me stop. I don't take myself seriously, honestly. So they, like, you know, immediately, like, you know, they were like, that's not true. And Amber pointed out that actually it was Lucie that was continuously antagonizing Yewande with not even like trying to remember Yewande's name. Now, Yewande is Nigerian. Yewande is Yoruba, like me. Yewande's name is Yewande. When you look at it, it's literally said how it's spelled. And if you can't even get maybe the date part, maybe you'll say Yewande, but it's still like, okay, then she'll correct you and be like, no, it's Yewande, like Beyonce. Like if you had maybe an accent mark, because we have accent marks in Yoruba, but there's so many that like you would just get confused. So we just spell as is. And I'm probably not even saying it right with my American accent. Like there's probably like a Yoruba accent, which I'm not gonna try and butcher here on this internet, but that's how it's said. But Lucie was not able to get her name right. Amber mentioned how Lucie asked Yewande one day, oh, can I just call you Y? Why? Why do you want to call somebody a letter? Like, that's so demotive of who that person is. And Yewande constantly, like, based on her counts, constantly corrected Lucie to the point that Lucie was like, yeah, whatever, you know what I mean. And I think that's just rude. And I don't think that Lucie, maybe at the time, I don't know who she is, at the time understood just how much that kind of hurts somebody, because there's so much strength in someone's name. And if you know Yoruba people, or you know Nigerian people in general, our names have strong meanings. Very strong meanings. Our parents and our families choose these names on purpose in order to hope that we sort of fulfill these names throughout our lives. Like, my first name isn't Yoruba, my first name is Arabic because I'm a Muslim. But even then, that name still has meaning. Most foreign names do. Arabic, Yoruba, whatever the case may be. So for her to kind of just dismiss Yewande after Yewande wants her respect, because it's a matter of respect. If you respect me, you will try to say my name correctly. If you want to demote me to a nickname because out of your lack of comfortability with trying to learn my name, that's disrespectful to me. I'm not here to make you feel comfortable, and it's as simple as you just saying my name right that's making you uncomfortable. Like, I don't get that. So I don't think Lucie has said anything since, but Yewande recently posted something, and I'm gonna also have it here. But she recently said on Twitter, I think one of my earliest memories of racialized renaming was when I was exploring different secondary schools. One of the schools I was interested in, by the way, I didn't end up going, asked me for my full name, which is Yewande Elizabeth Biala. After having difficulties pronouncing my name, she went forward and asked if we could just put it down as Elizabeth Biala, as it would be easier for everyone. In that moment, all I heard was that I didn't matter and I was an inconvenience. From that day, I made it my mission to make sure people knew my name was important. After all, that is my identity. Names are a part of our identities. It's not as simple as you just changing it for the sake of, like I said, for the sake of you feeling comfortable, because that strips away my identity. Continuing on. Names are prominent identifiers that can often tell the story of one's ethnicity and cultural background. My name means mother coming back, and I love it. There is a tendency for white European names and whiteness in general to be perceived as normative, whereas racial minorities with names of religious and ethnic origins may be seen as an inconvenience. Examples of name-based microaggressions include giving unwanted nicknames. As I became older and developed my multicultural competence, I decided to stop trying to make others comfortable at my own expense. It's important to recognize that asking for a nickname can feel invalidating. It makes me feel like an inconvenience. Also, ascribing a nickname to a person or participating in racialized renaming can be distressing. You as an oppressor have stripped me of my identity. You have taken my power in choosing how I want to be addressed. I corrected her multiple times. I didn't mind because you are going to get it right. There was a moment just before a challenge. This was after 3 weeks in. She mispronounced my name. I corrected her again, and her reply was, yeah, whatever, you know what I mean. I remember one of the producers putting her arms around me. Being black on TV means not raising your voice, not being too defensive, because you don't want to create the narrative of being an angry black woman or being a bully. I am not a bully. It's such a huge accusation and one that should be handled very seriously. And lastly, I encourage everyone to be aware of racialized renaming and name-based teasing. I think we should all be working towards being better advocates and creating a diverse, different dynamic around these narratives. So that's what Yewande has to say, and I stand by her 100%. And the reason why is because I've had to deal with this exact same thing throughout my entire life. This racialized renaming really just happens with people who have names that are slightly inconvenient. And to even consider my name to be inconvenient is rude. My name is Hafeezat. Sometimes my mom calls me Hafeezat too, when she wants to call my name, but my name is Hafeezat. Starting from early on when I was in elementary school, teachers saw my name, they weren't able to get it. Instead of going by Hafeezat, because at the time I was young, I didn't even know how to pronounce my name properly. I went by Hafeezat in order to have the T, so I could so I went by Hafeezat. And even then, they weren't even able to say it. Even though my name literally looks how it is phonetically. I've had instances of interviews recently where people told me, hey, can you tell me how you pronounce your name? And I was like, no, I'd rather you try it because it's phonetic. And I told them that, like, my name is phonetic, just try it. And I know they fear of, like, you know, messing up, but my take is that I would rather you mess up and be comfortable with being corrected than not try at all and make me give it to you, because you being comfortable with being corrected means that you want to get it right and everything like that. Which, not saying that they don't want to get it right by asking me to say it, but I just like them trying it because my name isn't hard. And when you look at it maybe fleetingly and you see like the Z and the T, maybe you get scared. But if you look at it straightly, then it's fine. It's Hafeezat, literally how it's spelled. The T might throw you off, but then I'll just correct you. It's fine. I've had to deal with this since elementary school. In middle school, that's when I had a racialized renaming. I instantly had my name shortened from Hafeezat to Hafi. So the first 5 letters of my name. And at the moment, I wasn't mad at it because, you know, it made everybody a lot more comfortable. And at that time, you know, I was literally struggling with, like, you know, my insecurities and my self-esteem, and I just wanted people to like me. So if that meant me, like, cutting down my name, then I was gonna cut down my name. But at that moment, I did not know what that meant, to have my name cut down to Hafi. It wasn't until high school. So my first 2 years of high school, I introduced myself as Hafi. You know, I didn't go by Hafeezat. So one day my dad told me, and he called me into the kitchen and he was like, why are you going by Hafi? If I hear that name from anybody's mouth, I will correct them. Because he didn't like that. On something along the lines of that. He didn't like that my name was that, because he's a very, very strong Muslim. Like, he is a very proud Muslim man. And he gave me my name, and my name was given to me for a reason. You know, I have done research on it. My name is on the lines of protector, guardian, or whatnot. It's derived from one of the names of Allah. That's what I know. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I know. Regardless, my name has meaning. And he told me that, you know, if they can say Machiavelli and Tchaikovsky and Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, all of these European names that have all the Z's and the G's and the S's and the K's and the everything, if they can say that, they can say Hafeezat. And that really hit for me because I didn't want him to feel disappointed in me for not going by my full name. So from that day on, starting my junior year and starting actually that day in school, like that week, I went to my guidance counselor. I went to some of my teachers and I was like, hello, I would like to be addressed by my full name moving forward. My name is Hafeezat. They tried that out a couple times and they ran with it since. And since then, I had some of the same professors some of the same teachers each year in high school, but some of them were different, like for like some of my other subjects. So I would introduce myself as Hafeezat, and it would take them a couple times. And I remember one time, it was my junior year of high school, and I was introducing myself to my biology teacher, Mr. Suro, and I introduced myself, you know, my name is Hafeezat, and he looked at it and he was like, Hafeezat, like he was like trying to like sound it out and everything like that. Because like my name isn't hard, but like, you know, some people, they still have to sound it out. And one girl in the class, which like she knows who she is, but I'm not gonna name her, but she knows who she is in case she ever sees this. She was like, why don't you just tell him to like call you Hafi? Because like that's how I still went by other people, because it was too late for me to kind of like, you know, tell everyone who's been calling me Hafi for the past like 2+ years to like now start calling me by a name, because there's too many people. I didn't want to deal with that. I just wanted to move forward. And they were like, you know, why don't you tell him to just call you by your nickname? And I said, no, I want him to try my name. I want him to get it right because my name isn't hard. And I stood by that because my name isn't hard. And he agreed. He was like, no, let me get it. Let me try it, because he was willing to learn how to try it. That's the thing. When people are willing, that means they actually care and respect you. When people are unwilling, that means they don't care. And that means they want to disrespect you. And that means that they will never care. And therefore, you need to know who you interact with and who you deem worthy of your time, based on just as something as simple as, you know, taking care and taking matter with your name. So he got it, you know. And ever since then, again, like I've been introducing myself with my full name, Hafeezat, because I'm proud of my name. I'm proud of where it comes from. I'm proud of what it signifies, you know. And to go even further, I have 3 other middle names. My 3 middle names are all Yoruba names. But the first one that I go by is Adetayo. And again, I'm probably saying that wrong because I am American. So don't come at me, Nigerians, please. But my name means my crown has brought great joy. essentially, because Ade is crown and then Ayo is joy. So crown has brought great joy. That's what my name means. And I have a bunch of other names that I'm not going to get into. But Yewande said it perfectly. Our names have meaning. Our names have strong meanings. For you to just strip it away is much more harmful than you think it is. And I think it really just goes to show, like, you know, what is truly in a name. Even the most simple European, anglicized Christian names have meanings in them as well. But because they're so normalized and whatnot, people don't really see them as anything but just the name. Nobody really looks into them. But for foreign people or for people with different ethnic backgrounds, our names have very strong meanings. So for you to say, oh, your name is Shivam, can I just call you Shiv? Can I call you She? Like, my sister, you know, she constantly battles with people mispronouncing her name, even though her name is also phonetic. Her name is Rafia. And her name is literally spelled like mine, except she doesn't have a Z at the end. But because people see the A, immediately say Rafit. But there's Rafi, there's double E, and then there's AT. Like, it's not hard. And also there's this phenomenon. And let me know if you've ever dealt with this, but there's this phenomenon that when you have a harder sounding name, whenever they do like popcorn attendance or like popcorn like choosing or whatever, they will always call you last. Always. Or you are always grouped last, because they don't want to immediately have to be faced with trying to say your name. And I hate it. My sister told me in every single class that she dealt with last year, because this is her first year in college, every single class that she dealt with in her first semester, she had to deal with people not calling her first. She was not called first in any single one of her classes. And it wasn't an alphabetical order type thing, because if it was, she would be at the top of the list. Our last name started with a B. We would be at the top of the list. We've always been at the top of the list. So it's not that. If they saw her name and they were like, oop, let me not try to say this. And then they move forward. I had to deal with this recently, I think. And I'm not going to talk more about it, but I've had to deal with this recently. I've had to deal with this in the past. Our names should not be inconveniences. You should be willing to learn how to say our names, and you should be willing to expand what you know and your knowledge of other people's names and how other people are feeling. And I've sat with this since the age of 5. I'm 20, almost 21. Like, this has been going on my entire life and my entire academic career. So I just went on Twitter and I found tweets of like me complaining about people not being able to pronounce my name properly. This tweet from March 2018 states, the amount of variations Hafeezat has gotten, I could make a whole book. Or they just pause and don't even try. They'll stare at my name for 10 seconds. Like, my name is how it's spelled, period. January 13th, 2020. It was my first day at my new internship. And they said they misspelled my name in the email, and they put half, like H-A-L-F, Hafeezat. And I just told them I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and that their fingers slipped when typing on their phone, because I think they were like sent by my iPhone or whatever. But that's one of them. I've also seen Hafeezat, like, I could write a whole book on how many times like my name has just been modified or misspelled, mispronounced, or mistyped. It's just like, my name is in my signature. It's in my email signature. You could literally just copy it, paste it, and go. This one is from January 14th, 2020, which is the class I was talking about that I had to deal with last year. And first class attendance, my name is on the screen, and professor says, yeah, I don't know how to pronounce this. And I told her I would prefer if you try. And she said, and she did. She tried after I told her, and I corrected her. And I was like, you know what's funny is that she tried everybody else's name. She tried everybody else in the class's name except mine. Not everybody had non-ethnic names. Some people had ethnic names, or like names that weren't necessarily like English names, you get me? But I was the only name that she didn't try. I was the only name that she paused at, and she was like, yeah, I don't know how to say this. And I told her, after that, I talked to her after class and I told her that it's better for her to try than to not want to offend by mispronouncing, because it's more offensive to have your name, which your identity is rooted in, to be written off as difficult when it's not. So clearly y'all can see I've been on this thing for years now. This is something I've been dealing with for years. What's up with people not wanting to be criticized about something so basic as a name? Like, calling somebody by their name is so basic. And yet people are so unwilling to do it. Now in college, not many professors will get to know you on a first name basis. On a big campus, you'll meet a lot of people, but I'm making it known that I will only go by Hafeezat, the proper way it's pronounced, not some watered down version, no nicknames, just Hafeezat in its entirety. I stand by those statements till this day because I've still had to deal with this situation till this day. It has not gone away. And it's gonna happen in the near future. I know as soon as I go into corporate or as soon as I get into more freelance work or whatever the case may be, people are going to have tough times saying my name. But what I will do is not back down when it comes for you saying my name properly. And if you continuously misname me, I will leave you. I will not talk with you. You will not address me by anything other than my name. If you try to shorten my name ever again, I will not address you. And I've said that now, and I will continue to stand by that now. I didn't know that in the past. I was insecure in the past. I was unsure about myself in the past. I didn't even know where my name really meant in the past. But now I know. And I hope that you know, if you can relate to this, that your name is beautiful and your name means something for a reason. So don't let anybody take that away from you. I stand by Yewande. Shout out to her for sticking her ground and telling her truth, because this is a truth that so many other people have had to deal with ad nauseum, and it's getting tired. It's 2021. If you see a name you don't know how to say it, ask the person, because more than likely they will be ecstatic that you immediately don't say, hey, can I call you B? Can I call you Hafi? Can I call you H? Can I call you Haf? No, my name's Hafeezat. End of story. And with that, I am done. Like I said, if you have ever dealt with something like this, please like, comment, subscribe. So let me know in the comments like your stories with dealing with the racialized renaming of your name. Let me know if you've ever dealt with this. Let me know the stories. I love them. I've heard it a lot from like my fellow Africans. I've also heard it a lot from a lot of South Asian people, like Indian people, Bangladeshi people, etc. Like, you know, I have stories that are my own and also not my own. And it's tough out here, but this is the time like to stick your ground more than anything, because this is your name. Like, this is who you are. Like, nobody should have the power to take away who you are. And I hope that you gathered that from this video. Again, it was unplanned. I did not plan this at all, but I'm glad that I sat down and I did it. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how you're feeling, and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I wanna drown myself inside the jewel.